Hello everybody, I'm Mike from the Rewatch Project with Hannah and my podcast, and I am back with another edition of Front Row, these live music performance, reaction and analysis videos. And I'm doing something a little bit different today. Viewers of the channel previously will know that I've been going back and rewatching, watching, I should say, some performances from some grunge bands, mainly because back in the late 80s, early 90s, when this scene was really taking off, I was very much into hard rock, classic rock, metal, and I really was not a grunge fan. I felt that it was kind of depressing, and that it was taking over from all of the fun party rock and roll music that I was into when I was 16, 17, 18, 19 years old. But now, with somewhat more mature eyes and ears, I've been going back and I've been watching some classic Nirvana, Perl Jam, Alice in Chains performances, and discovering this music for the first time, at least from my own perspective. One recommendation that I had caught my attention is a 2004 collaboration between Eddie Vedder from Perl Jam and Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band from the Vote for Change tour. This was when I believe that they, along with, I think, the Dixie Chicks and REM and John Mellencamp and a bunch of other liberal musicians were going out and were supporting what would eventually be the doomed campaign of John Kerry, but it was very well-meaning. And yeah, so I mean, I'm a huge Bruce Springsteen fan. So seeing these two worlds, the world of grunge music that I've been covering here with a little bit of distance, and the world of my beloved Bruce Springsteen in the E Street Band coming together, meant that this was an irresistible opportunity. So I'm going to watch that now. Quick reminder, or I guess telling you for the first time, if you've not watched this channel, I do pause the videos, I do talk over them. That's just how I choose to react to these things. So if that is not to your liking, you have been warned. And I would also strongly urge you not to follow my terrible example and to watch this performance in its entirety before I talk over it and ruin it now. And last but not least, please do check out the other content on this channel, including the Rewatch Project with Hannah and Mike, the audio podcast where we go back and watch some of our favourite film and television franchises, in addition to the assorted film, television, music and other assorted general pop culture goodness that is on this channel. But for now, Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band with Eddie Vedder, Betterman, from October 2004 in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Let's go.
Hello, New Jersey, everybody. Bruce asked me to do this song, and since he's the boss and I'm the employee, here it is.
He's the boss and I'm the employee.
Waiting, watching the clock, it's 4 o'clock, it's got to stop. Tell him, take no more. She practices her speech as he opens the door. She rolls over, pretends to sleep as he looks her over.
It's funny because although I'm not, the world's biggest Pearl Jam fan, I know this song. And it's funny that it's starting on the piano, not on the guitar. So already, it sounds like an E Street Band song. That piano intro feels very much like the opening of Because the Night, or the instrumental introduction he used to do for Prove It or Night in the 70s. So it's funny because one of the things I've been discovering about, quote, grunge music, and again, I always say that with air quotes because I know that none of these bands self-identified with that term. That is very much a media term for this group of DIY kind of, punk rock inspired bands, is that now when you go back and listen to a lot of that early Pearl Jam, it's become classic rock, of course. And you can hear that it very much has the same guts as a lot of Springsteen's music as well. Pearl Jam and the grunge scene talked a lot about Neil Young at the time, and Springsteen in the 90s was definitely not, he'd lost his cultural significance at that point. I think he was at risk of getting bundled in with the Stings and the Bryan Adamses and, the Rod Stewarts of the world. And you didn't see people like Eddie Vedder, who I know is a Springsteen fan, or Michael Stipe, or any of the musicians who were very popular at the time, really citing Springsteen. I think people were a little bit embarrassed to do that. You know, it was still close enough to all of the hoopla around Born in the USA. So I think what's great is that as we went into the 2000s, we did start to see Springsteen emerging as a legitimate elder statesman in the way that people like Neil Young and Johnny Cash did before him as well. And I think the quote, support of the generation that followed him, people like Eddie Vedder and Michael Stipe, was really tremendously important. And we would see that echoed further with bands like the Arcade Fire and Jack Antonoff's Bleachers more recently. But it's great. It sounds like an E Street Band song. I mean, it always kind of did, but now it really does because he's got the E Street Band playing behind him. Eddie Vedder is so great. I love this guy. Even like I say, the reluctant anti-grunge hair metaler in me has forgiven him for what I perceived as pretentiousness at the time, and just can't deny that he's one of the all-time great rock stars, and seeing him here on stage with Springsteen really solidifies that.
She lies and says she's in love with him. Can't find a better man.
Proud of getting into it.
She dreams in color, she dreams in bed. Can't find a better man. Can't find a better man. Can't find a better man.
It's such a shame there's not a pro shot version of this. You hear the crowd, nice special moment.
Talking to herself, no one is beneath to. She tells herself, memories back when she was bold and strong, waiting for the world to come along. Swear she knew it, now she swears it's gone. She lies and says she's in love with
Goosebumps.
him. Can't find a better man. She dreams in color, she dreams
This is so good.
find a better man. She lies and says she's still lost to him. Can't find a better man. She dreams in color, she dreams in rain. Can't find a better man. Can't find a better man. Can't find a better man.
Mighty Max Weinberg.
She loves him. She knows to be this way. She feels him. That's why she'll be back again.
Oh, good one, Eddie. He caught the Bruce was off there and switched. What a pro. Ooh. Wow. This is what it's all about. Right here. Oh, Clarence is getting a solo. I've got to stop. This is amazing. This is just amazing because it's just such a union of the two. And the fact that what was a guitar solo is now Clarence's sax solo. If you really want to christen a song as being brought into the E Street Band canon, you get Clarence Clemens to do a solo. What a joyous experience. And Vedder is amazing. I mean, Bruce is doing great. He clearly doesn't know the song too well, but he's just got great instincts and a great band, and he's such an incredible performer. But, this is Vedder's song, and he's nailing it, absolutely nailing it, and being really agile, being really light on his feet as well, because I think if it's your song, the kind of burden of pulling it off falls on you, even though it's Bruce's band. And you see Vedder, he flips a couple of bits in order to kind of get the train back on the tracks at a couple of points. And that's amazing. You know, what a great performer. I want to listen to Clarence Clemens now. It's Nils Lofgren. Oh, Bruce is getting some. Eddie Vedder, he's very happy to be there. Oh, nice. Bruce is giving it a bit of the Darkness and the Edge of Town era guitar. Max is following Bruce. Look at Eddie. This is actually feeling quite emotional watching this. Nice. He's going to get the jump ending. Is he going to give it to Eddie? You take it, sir. God, there's just, I mean, as well as just the musicality of that, and it was a little bit rough around the edges at points, but that's brilliant. It should be. It's rock and roll. You know, there's a kind of symbolic power to it as well, because they do come from different generations as artists, and you know, there was always this suspicion of authority or age or seniority with grunge that came with any kind of young, you know, punkish music, and so it should. But here, you know, the fact that this almost feels like Vedder and by default Perl Jam kind of taking the step into classic rockdom, and that not necessarily being a bad thing. They've kind of been let in with the E Street Band and The Who and the Rolling Stones and the Doors and, you know, whoever. And yeah, that was just a great performance. To be there, to have been at that show, wow. But yes, so tell me what to cover next. I'll be dropping a new Alice in Chains reaction again of the song Nutshell. Never heard that song before, so I'll be reacting to that as well. So this journey through late 80s, early 90s alternative music, grunge music, whatever you want to call it, is really interesting and kind of cathartic, and it's great to be opening my mind and my eyes and ears to that form of music. So yeah, quick reminder that I appreciate feedback, either comments on this page or email, and do check out the other content on this channel, including the Rewatch Project with Hannah and Mike podcast, as well as the other film, TV, and music, and just general other pop cultural goodness that shares this channel. So yeah, back soon. Thanks, bye.